You're here, I'm here, welcome back. As a refresher, the ultimate, most powerful witch with massive social anxiety, Monica Everett, has been coerced into bodyguarding the second prince of the kingdom as he attends the academy. In last week's video, which you can find in the playlist linked in the description, there have been several attempts on the prince's life, with his gang believing she could be a potential perpetrator. Now, she's being forced to find the real culprit in order to clear her name. Will she succeed by the end of the video? Let's find out. Monica wailed, wanting to go back to her hut in the mountain, calling herself a useless recluse. Nero agreed that she was quite a helpless master, and offered to pat her with his paws. While he comforted her, he reminded her that she needed to find the person after the prince. Then, they looked at the flower pot she broke earlier, and she guessed whoever threw it had to be on the top floor. By the stairs, she overheard some girls teasing Selma because Aaron might be leaving school due to a sudden illness. Poor Selma had devoted herself to him, but now their engagement was going to be broken off. Lana saw Monica silently watching and dragged her so they could quickly push past the girls. She politely asked if they could squeeze past, but Caroline Simmons replied, "Your manners have something to be desired," boasting that her family was more prestigious. She said Lana should have greeted her first. Lana simply asked her to move out of the way again, and subtly called her an escaped cow. She implied that Caroline's butt was so big, she couldn't move out of the way. Then Caroline burst out saying, "Who are you calling a cow?" pushing Lana, causing her to back into Monica, who tipped over the stairs. Slowly falling over, Monica's mind raced on whether to use magic, but was concerned it would raise suspicions. She noticed the gradient of the stairs and thought if she used a protective barrier to flatten the gradient, she would slide down naturally. She then activated her barrier magic and zipped down the stairs screaming, soon bumping into Cyril. He asked if she was hurt, but she just kept saying sorry over and over. Cyril then lifted her hair and saw her forehead was a bit red. She was surprised that he wasn't angry, and noticed his fingertips were cold, making her think that he was releasing mana unknowingly. Lana came running soon after, scared that Monica might have been hurt. As Cyril asked what the commotion was about, Caroline lied that Lana pushed Monica down the stairs as a joke. Lana refuted this, explaining that Caroline pushed her while Monica was caught in the crossfire. Caroline responded by making it look like Lana was passing the blame, saying that nouveau riche kids have some nerve, and assumed that Cyril would be on her side simply because she was from the house of Count Norn. Monica nervously looked at Cyril and thought about how this was the aristocratic world. When someone high up decided you were wicked, it became the truth, even if the person wasn't at fault. Her lips trembled as she begged for her voice to work. If she didn't say something, Lana would be made to be the villain. Monica wanted anything but that. With her voice shaking, she told Cyril that she simply slipped and it was no one's fault. Lana tried to interject, but Monica ran away too quickly. Arriving at the music room, she heard a girl playing the piano. The girl told her to come back later, but Monica said she left something on the balcony. There, she found 3 flower pots and 1 empty one. The ledge was too high for her, so she used the empty pot as a stool to look over the balcony, confirming that this was where the broken pot was thrown from. Noticing that her gloves had become dirty, she was a little sad because she only had 1 pair, but something suddenly clicked in her head. Monica then asked the girl inside if she had a key to this classroom, and the girl simply answered that Monica would have to submit a request form in the faculty room if she wanted to book the room, and Monica humbly thanked her. Over in the student council office, Elliot complained to Felix, saying that Monica was not an aristocrat by any stretch of the imagination, but he admitted it was better to have her do the snooping than themselves. Felix didn't want Duke Clockford to intervene in the matter, even if they referred to him as the Duke's lapdog. Most of all, he didn't want people to think that Felix Arc-Riddil was incapable of taking on a case of this size. Monica then entered the room, telling the two she knew who the perpetrator was. Meanwhile, Selma was being teased by some girls because her fiancé had left school. They told her she could talk to them about anything. After all, they were friends. Selma thought even if they used her to feel better about themselves, she couldn't give up her title as their friend for anything. She thought that at least, if she had friends, she wouldn't be Selma who had nothing. Shortly, Elliot called her to the student council office. In the office, Felix said Monica had informed him that she was the culprit behind the recent incidents, and he asked Monica to explain. Even though the scene with the sign falling had been tidied up, Monica said she knew what happened with the flower pot. As she started explaining, she excitedly rambled about the speed of the fall and the way the pot shattered. But Felix interjected to stop her from going into unnecessary details. Basically, from her calculations, the pot was dropped from the 4th floor, and she also checked who used the music room at the time. Before she could go further, Selma interrupted, rushedly saying, "I just went to water the plants." Monica then pointed out that they were the same height, which meant she used the empty flower pot as a stool to look over the balcony, and that Selma was also wearing gloves today. But when Monica met her in the infirmary, she noticed Selma wasn't wearing gloves then. The reason being that they got dirty when she moved the flower pot. Selma looked distraught, telling Monica she was wrong. But Monica had also found a pair of dirty gloves in the trash with Selma's initials on them. Selma's anxiousness then led to a wild scream, and she started crashing out, admitting that she was the one behind it all, including the student council budget. So she begged Felix to have mercy on her fiancé, claiming Aaron was being tricked by her all along. She didn't want her fiancé taken from her, a girl who had nothing. After she left, Monica asked Felix what would happen to Selma. He answered that her family deserved the death penalty. After all, this was a royal assassination attempt. Hearing this scared Monica, but he then said it'd be best to have Selma withdraw from the school voluntarily. The way she was willing to give up everything for those she cared about struck a chord with him. With things resolved, Monica lit up, seeing the records on the table. She quickly told Felix that 3 of the numbers didn't match, and he was shocked that she could read the accounting records. Then asked her to help him review them. Monica was exhilarated, especially after being deprived of numbers for so long. So, Felix then appointed her as the student council treasurer, causing her to fall over. Night came, and she was still in shock. Nero used his paws to comfort her, which brought her back to her senses. She cried about becoming the student council treasurer, but Nero felt this would make her job easier. Earlier, Elliot couldn't believe that Felix appointed the Squirrel Girl, but Felix explained to them that Monica was able to review records from the last 5 years in just a couple of hours. Felix asked Monica what she thought about the records, and she was surprised by how sloppy the management was for such a large sum of money. Cyril yelled, "Why you? How dare you talk to His Highness like that?" causing her to shrink back expectantly. She just wanted to go home. That same night, Cyril was going through the records and begrudgingly admitted Monica's work was perfect. He then recognized her handwriting, but felt there was no way it could be what he was thinking of. As he left his study, he felt a sharp pain in his head, and his eyes glowed red, as if he had lost a sense of himself. The next day, Isabel berated Monica loudly as a spectacle for bystanders to hear, for being part of the student council, even breaking the teacups, questioning how she convinced His Highness to let her join. Soon, softly throwing a pillow on the floor, she was proud of her villainous acting. But, with Monica pointing out that she had broken all the teacups, Isabel and Agatha then showed a box filled with new teacups, adding that the ones broken were already chipped in the first place. Isabel then properly congratulated Monica on becoming the student council treasurer. She noticed Monica's new hairstyle and wanted Agatha to do the same for her. But the maid replied that villainesses didn't wear the same hair as the girl they were bullying. However, she promised to give them matching hairstyles during the holidays. In class, Monica's classmates couldn't believe a country bumpkin like her had become the treasurer. Lana confronted her about being a part of the student council, but Monica remained silent. Feeling bad about the previous day, Lana admitted she had provoked Caroline and asked if Monica was alright, which made her happy. Lana also noticed Monica's hair was undone and offered to help her braid it again as a way to apologize. Later on, in the student council room, Prince Felix asked Cyril to teach Monica how to do her job as treasurer, since he was treasurer before. She really wanted someone who was closer in age instead, but Felix insisted Cyril would train her well. Afterwards, Cyril explained how busy a treasurer could get, and told her not to leave out the things he listed. The chilly air made her sneeze, so he opened the windows and gave her a scarf to warm up. Due to the cold, Monica confirmed that Cyril was releasing mana from his body somehow. She then noticed the accounting records she had reviewed earlier, and he told her that his advisor, Professor Thornley, would be checking them. She apologized, feeling bad that her review must have given him a lot of extra work. But Cyril said it was just the work that needed to be done. He questioned why she was so jumpy and told her to be proud of her work, saying it was flawless. However, Monica couldn't be proud of herself. She recalled the memory of a boy who believed she always looked down on him. Cyril then let her know that he hated the word can't. He revealed that he had already spoken to some students about the staircase incident and now knew the truth of what had happened, adding that Caroline Simmons had been given a strict warning and would submit a written apology as well. Considering how evasive Monica was, it took him considerable time to actually discover the truth. Monica wondered if there really were people like this among the aristocrats. Cyril then reprimanded her for speaking too softly and urged her to speak louder and more clearly, turning it into a small comedic moment where she went, I'm sorry, causing him to shout, scolding her for adding staccato to her wording. By late evening, as he was heading to Professor Thornley to hand him the accounting documents, he paused, becoming concerned, thinking more and more of his professor. A lot of strange things are going on at this academy. What's up with the red glow that was in Selma's and now Cyril's eyes? Does this have something to do with Professor Thornley? Will Monica ever get over her social anxiety? Probably not. But subscribe to keep up with next week's part. For now though, watch this next video. It's me, ComfyTea. I'll see you all in the next one.